Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our second episode of the HerCampus Roundtable. I know it's been a while since we posted our last one, but we all just got really busy over the semester, and it's officially like winter break. Well, basically almost halfway through winter break at our school, and we just really wanted to just take care of ourselves and not do anything basically since the semester ended. And this hell year is officially coming to a close, and we're both very happy about that. Today, I am joined by the YouTube channel head, Victoria.
Hello, guys. It's so nice to be here again.
It's just the two of us this time because I know everyone's tired, but we're both down to wrap up 2020, which is the episode's topic, by the way. We are going to be wrapping up this hell year and basically all the changes that have happened, what we're looking forward to, personal life, society, school, whatever. It's just basically a look back at all the things we've been through this year. So the semester's ended. We're finally done with our first semester of what school is like in a pandemic, because I know spring semester was just it just hits, and all of a sudden we're all online with no planning whatsoever. But now, with obviously schools have planned out what's going to happen. We're done with everyone's done with their first semester of pandemic school. What was that like for you?
It was a little tough, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very bad at focusing on Zoom. I don't know about you, but at least going back to March, it kind of just, when we got sent home, it kind of felt like, okay, no more school, even though we still had midterms and finals, I think, at that point. So I wasn't really, even having the summer, it was still hard to adjust this semester. And I feel like even though they did have time to create their schedules around the pandemic, a lot of professors did not do that. I had a few professors who were like, I want you there in class, even if you can't show up, I want you sitting in the classroom, not over Zoom. So it was, very, very much a struggle, but I mean, I think I did fine. I'm still waiting for a few more grades, but overall, not awful. How was yours?
Honestly, it wasn't really as bad. I mean, the professors, thankfully, this semester were very lenient. They were really awesome. They knew it was a really weird time, and they tried to accommodate as much as we could. But me, personally, I could not function on Zoom. I'm more of a classroom person. And now, I understand why we're all on Zoom or in hybrid classes. But, when I'm on a computer all day from morning to, afternoon, I just feel so unproductive. I feel like I'm just sitting there doing this and just, secretly scrolling on Twitter on the side.
Because there's so many distractions. There's literally
yes, literally. Even though, okay, whenever we're actually in class, we're distracted by our phones, but not to the point where this. At least in class we could look up and at least kind of know what the hell is going on a little bit. Here it's what do we do? Basically.
Yeah, back in March, I would literally just play Animal Crossing during my entire class. Did not pay attention to one word anybody would say. And then I'd be like, why do I not know what's on my final? Because you didn't pay attention.
Exactly. And also I wasn't really exactly that good of a student as I usually was, because of the pandemic. All of a sudden I have to readjust my entire operation settings basically because of the pandemic. I usually when I'm in class, I pay attention, I understand the content and whatever. I do well when I'm sitting in class, but when I'm on a computer all day, I forget things. Now we're starting to get these assignments that we have no idea are even uploaded because they're not really reminded they are in class. The professors don't really remind us like they would usually. And
Did
it's
you have any classes?
They got that,
Did you have any classes that were asynchronous where you had no
Yes,
teacher?
I had one asynchronous class. It was my creative writing class. For that, I really did at first I was like, what the hell is going on? I really had no idea what to do there. My grades came out, I ended up getting a B plus. Just to get us going how bad it was. Usually because creative writing is usually my forte. I love to write. But having an asynchronous writing class, it's I just got caught so off guard by a lot of different things. I was late on so many different assignments. Like I've come to discover that asynchronous classes are not for me. They're
Yeah.
not.
I feel like I need somebody like constantly reminding me like, oh, like you guys have a paper due in 2 weeks. Like otherwise, like I will have no clue.
No, literally. No, literally. Also, like this I've put off so many assignments this semester. So many assignments were submitted late. I've submitted some assignments like a week before like the class officially ends. And thankfully all my professors were like, oh, you know what, just get it into me before class ends and we're good, basically. And not many points have been taken off, thankfully, with a lot of my assignments. I'm like, I can't say the same for a lot of my friends, but I'm thankful that my professors this semester were just really chill. And like, I hope that continues into next semester, because I don't know. I'm very concerned about next semester. Like, do you think we'll be still hybrid online, or are we going to be like more back in classes, especially with the vaccine that's out, even though it's not really available to everybody yet?
Yeah, I think that since the vaccine isn't really like available and it's not going to be available for a while from what I've read to everybody, I think that we're still going to be dealing with a lot of hybrid stuff. The numbers are going up again, so I'm a little worried that they're going to put us
Oh yeah, that's scared
point.
the shit out of me when I
Yeah,
read like, oh my God, New York is spiking again, and it's because of Christmas, because of Thanksgiving and the flu season. It's like, oh my God, we're like basically back
yeah.
where we
And
started.
there's like a new strain of the virus over in Europe, and it's
Exactly. Oh my God.
please get rid of it.
When
Like,
I read that, I was like, oh my God, here we go again. But thankfully, at least countries are acting fast now. The UK
yeah,
still hasn't shut its borders, but other countries have started shutting their borders. I'm not sure about the US. I think
yeah.
we will definitely see news of the new strain showing up here, and it's going to freak me out so much. But hopefully with the vaccine, we'd be able to curb that, and I'm hoping a lot more countries are like properly, like they have contingencies in place for the new strain too, because this is just
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is like they're acting quicker now because like now we know like what the virus can actually do. Whereas like I guess earlier on, like they were slower to act because they were like, oh, like it's not a big deal, even though it was. Um, but now I'm hoping that they are able to like shut it down quicker. It's just a matter of like people actually following guidelines rather than being like, oh, like I can't get it, so like why should I wear a mask? Like just like why do you not care about people? Just like wear a mask and go about your day. Like come on,
it drives me
you can
insane. Like,
do.
really, just a piece of fabric. Like, why can't you put that on for like an hour out of your day? Like, and like, still, even with the new strain, to this day, we're still seeing clips of people and tweets of people just being like, "Oh, I'm not gonna wear the mask. Oh my God, it's just basically the flu. Oh my God." It's like, oh my goodness.
I
Like,
have
we are almost a year. It's the anniversary of coronavirus just the last month, and you're seriously still gonna say that it's just the flu with
yeah.
everything screaming right in front of you that it's not?
Yeah, and it's like I have friends down in Florida and like there's no guidelines there like basically at all, and like there's like raves happening, there's like everybody's at theme parks. I'm like, why do people want to go out? Like if they just stopped for like a month, we would be like we could have been done with this forever ago if people just followed the rules. And it's like,
No, literally, all it takes is like 3 weeks tops of a full lockdown, and it'll bring down the numbers by so much. At least that's
yeah,
what the estimates I've read in certain reports and from other countries. Like literally 3 weeks, it's all it takes. But no one wants to do that.
yeah,
Hopefully, with this new administration that's coming in, the Biden administration will hopefully start to see some sort of a change happening.
yeah,
Yeah, the election has also just come by. And it was wild election day when the news came out of Biden winning. My street, New York, was celebrating. It was crazy just seeing all these snaps and whatever. Like, it was wild. Like, holy shit. Like, as like a non-American immigrant, like as an international student, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, kinda. Like, I know we still have a few more days of the current administration, but like you know, at least some of my fears were kind of put to rest. Like we all just felt like some sort of a weight lifted off our shoulders. But I know the work isn't quite done yet, so we still have,
Yeah.
you
It
know, keep
definitely
in mind.
was a good surprise. I remember when I woke up that, like, I think it was like 2 days after election day or whatever, and like the news had broken. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, because I really thought we were going to be stuck for another 4 years. And not that Biden is like the end all be all of like change, because we know that's not true.
Oh yeah, oh
Like,
yeah.
but it's definitely nicer to have somebody else in the office, is what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
say. um and definitely like seeing like that they're planning to be very on top of handling like COVID and other like ongoing issues is much more encouraging, I guess, to
oh
us
yeah,
as
oh
we
yeah.
move into the future.
At least like now we'd be more prepared. Like I am honestly, I don't know about you, but I am so ready for that lockdown that he's going to put in, because we just need, because I want to be able to enjoy summer 2021. I want to be able to go on spring break again. I feel like
Yeah.
we could be getting our summer, and maybe not spring break, we could be getting our summer back.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I've been talking to my friends about this, and I feel like when all of like the shutdowns originally happened, like a lot of people who were like graduating college were like, "Oh, we lost out on our senior year and stuff." But I feel like honestly, like underclassmen were kind of like had a bigger loss in a way, because like we're losing like multiple years, like we've already lost like a whole year of our college experience to corona. So I'm just like really hoping that everything will be fixed by summer, if not summer then the end of the year. But I just want to travel before I have to work, like, you know what I
Same.
mean?
Like I want to go to Coachella. I
Mhm.
want to do an in-office internship. I wanted to go to festivals and concerts. Literally, like before COVID happened, I was supposed to see Tinashe and Doja Cat in April. I
That's
had
so
tickets and
tragic.
everything. It was so tragic. I was,
No,
but you know,
concerts are the biggest loss to
yes, I
me.
miss concerts. I miss concerts, especially like after when the pandemic was in full swing, and just seeing all the reports of artists saying, "Oh, we had a world tour planned or whatever. I had this planned." I was like, "Oh my God, we really lost out on all of that." Like I was
No,
so sad.
literally, I had like, I think it was 4 concerts that I was gonna be going to over this summer, and one of them, I don't know if you know Wallows, but they're like literally my
Yeah,
favorite
I
band
know
ever.
Wallows. Yeah,
And that was gonna be the first time I was gonna get to see them finally after like loving them for a few years. And I was going with my best friends. It was gonna be like general admission, so we were gonna go early. And then they canceled, and then well, actually, I think they postponed first, and then they fully canceled. And I was
that
like,
was basically the whole thing about artists. They were postponing first, and then it was cancellation.
yeah,
Like for some other artists, we were like, okay, like once the pandemic was in full swing, and the other artists started postponing, it was like, okay, yeah, they're definitely gonna cancel. Just like wait a
yeah.
few days, boom, cancellation. I
I
was really
remember like
hoping.
when it all started, because I was supposed to see Harry like when he was doing like Harry Ween like at MSG,
Yeah, that
and
like I was planning on going to that too.
and I was so excited, and I was like, okay, you know what? Like it's all the way in October. Like I'm sure we'll be
I'm
done.
sure something's gonna change by then. No,
Got worse.
no,
It just got
uh,
worse.
it was just a mess.
Yeah.
And also the weekend, he moved his dates to
Mhm.
2021. So maybe, okay, maybe summer 2021 we'll be able to go see the weekend. Hopefully, like honestly, like I don't mind keeping a mask on while I'm in the concert. I like
Yeah.
even if everyone gets the vaccine, I'm definitely gonna still keep wearing the mask. It's important
Yeah.
to keep wearing the masks even after you get the vaccine, because like even though you may be immune, but you could still be a carrier, and you could be infecting someone else who hasn't gotten the vaccine yet or isn't able to get the vaccine yet. So please, even if you get the vaccine, wear your masks. It's
Yeah.
still very much important.
I saw this was like back I think over the summer, but in the UK there was like some sort of festival that they had, and it was like a socially distanced festival. So like you and your friends would have like your own little like section in the grass, and like
I
they would be
saw
spaced
that.
out. I think that's genius.
That's
I
literally
would
so
love
genius.
that.
I would like that, honestly. It's like, yeah, I saw the photo. It was like a big outdoor concert,
Mhm.
yeah? And it was like little like boxes, just like four
Yeah,
chairs,
yeah.
just you and your friends. That would be awesome. I would honestly, I wouldn't mind if that was the state of concerts from now until like everything basically actually goes back to normal. I
Even
wouldn't mind
if
that.
even if we didn't have a pandemic, like I kind of think that's a smart idea because sometimes like I've been to Gov Ball, like sometimes you're standing in that crowd and you're like, I'm gonna pass out right now, and you can't even
Oh my
like
God.
get
I was
out.
planning on going to Gov Ball this summer.
I
I was
loved
so
I
sad.
loved it so much. It was so much fun, and it's like there's so many different artists, and you just get to like have a little bit of all of them. So
Yeah, yeah. And going back to the whole section thing, it's kind of like your own little like VIP risers. Because you know at concerts you have like a VIP kind of like sections that are like kind of higher than the general admission or whatever. I wouldn't mind that. Even if I was kind of a little far away, I would probably try to snag the ones that are closest to the stage because I really want to be able to see the artists.
yeah,
But either way, as long as I can go to a concert again, that's like I miss that thrill. That was really
literally like those are just like my favorite memories, like just being with my friends and like dancing around and like when you go to a concert, it's like that's your only care in the
yeah,
world, like just
literally,
like
literally.
having fun.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a party person. Like I'm not a party person, but I'm a big concert
hmm
person. It's two very different energies.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of concerts, music this year. I know we kind of went over music a little bit, but like the pandemic has really brought out a lot of artists to put out more music, I've noticed, to offer people a chance of escape. Like I feel like the first one to really like be the first big pandemic artist was Charlie XCX when she did
I
How
love
I'm Feeling
her.
Right Now. Have you heard the album?
Yes, I have. I love her. I've always like listened to her, but when I was doing finals for some reason, like she was the only person I listened to. I don't know why, but like I love her so much. Her sound is so cool. Like she's evolved so much since she
Oh,
started out.
definitely.
Cause I think I saw her. I think she opened up for Taylor Swift. I want to say like back
She did,
on
yeah.
for Reputation, I think. And I saw her, and then like her sound has changed so much. So I really enjoy her. Like her new album, like I think Party for You is probably my favorite. Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite on there?
That's a good song. Also, Pink Diamond's a great opener. Like it's so crazy. Like she really managed to capture the essence of the pandemic especially with C 2.0, which is basically like her song Click from a remix of her song Click from the Charlie album, which I saw her on tour for. But she remixed it to be like I miss my friends, I miss my whatever. She's like it's a more of a very existential kind of a longing, like I miss everybody, I miss my clique kind of. And she really managed to really capture the essence of the pandemic and social distancing all alone. She also worked on the album, like just her, I think her producer just like constantly like forwarding each other file after file and email and after email. And it came together really well. I'm really happy she managed to capture that. And also, aside from Charlie XCX, Chloe and Halle put out their
Oh my
album
god,
finally.
I love that album so much.
I
I
love it
love that.
too. I
I
love it
literally
so
love it.
much.
I'm so proud that they're like finally getting the recognition they deserve. I remember
Yes.
when they were on like Austin and Ally when we were younger, like they were on an episode and I was like, wow, they're so good. And
Yeah,
now
it's surprising. They're actually in a lot of our childhood stuff because, they were on a Radio Disney first. That's how they basically first, like, kind
I
of like,
think they were like the next big thing or whatever
that
on
was the
Radio
one. That was the
Disney.
thing.
Yeah.
Radio Disney's next big thing. And then from there, the YouTube covers, and then boom, Beyonce takes a notice. And they're like, this is the album that really like broke them onto the mainstream. I feel like their next album is gonna be way bigger and crazier, and it's really gonna really cement them in the mainstream.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of the performances they've been putting out. Like
I was
literally,
literally just gonna say that. Like their home performances are
yes,
amazing.
like all in like their tennis court in their backyard. They managed to really deck it out and make it look amazing. Like wow, they really are making the most of it, and I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of all the artists who are making the most of their art and putting out content for the fans over the pandemic, just helping us escape this hell of a year. Honestly.
Yeah. Literally, like, I don't know if you listen to Taylor Swift. I know she's not some people's cup of tea, but
The last two albums, Folklore and Evermore, I have listened to them. They're very good. I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but they are very good.
yeah, like I think Folklore is what got me through like lockdown back in March and April and stuff. Well, when did it come out? That is such a lie. I just lied. I think it came out in July, but Folklore got me through the summer.
Yeah, it was definitely like a summer pandemic album.
Yeah, I've listened to
Evermore is
so
like
much.
for the fall winter. Yeah.
I've listened to it so much that it feels like it's been with me since I was born. But
That's for a lot of albums this year. It's like, holy shit, this came out in the summer? I thought it came out in March.
But yeah, I'm just like really proud of her because we've gotten so much new music from her this year, and I feel like she really changed up her sound. Like she's never done this like indie pop vibe really that much.
Indie folk.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed her stuff. I'm really happy that like it's kind of opening more people up to listening to her because like my friends would never want to listen to her, and now that like those 2 new albums are out, they love them. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I wasn't the biggest Taylor Swift fan. Like I liked 1989. To me that was a very good album. That's one of her best, honestly.
mm-hmm.
Then Folklore came out. I was like, okay, indie folk. I like indie folk a little bit. I like some Bon Iver. He's on the album. I listened to it. Like, wow. It really just like transports you to a whole other world.
Yeah.
And then that also with the whole cottagecore trend that came in. I like the cottagecore trend. That was really fun.
I love cottagecore. I want to run away and live in the woods and just like bake bread all day or something.
No, literally. Even honestly, what's crazy, like, okay, in the summer also I moved into a house, a rented student house. This is the house I'm currently living in.
Mm-hmm.
From the outside, when I first moved in, it was very cottagecore. Like it's one of those like small, like, the houses that students rent, like not much to them, but it has this tree growing outside. It had flowers on it when I first came to see it, and everything was like, wow, this is very cottagecore. I like it. And then I came in, the backyard was also in full bloom. There was hydrangeas and all sorts of flowers in the backyard. It was really nice to see. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I have to stay here. Also, like, it was me and one of my friends who moved out halfway through the summer. So it was just me in the house. It was fun to have a new apartment all to yourself, all alone, until the other housemates came in. And it's pretty fun. This is it, by the way. Like, this is the living room.
It looks
the
so
lamp,
pretty.
I got it for Christmas.
Ooh, I like the Greek statue on the table.
Yeah, that's my housemates. Yeah, but it really adds a really nice touch to the room, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you were to come by, it's like, honestly, to me, it's one of the nicest like college houses you'll ever see, because they can be a little messy, but I like to have somewhere that's peaceful and serene.
Yeah, I get that. Like living off campus was low-key like one of the blessings of this year, because I was posted a dorm, and then last minute me and my friends were like, like let's try to get a house so we can have our own space and not really like be like stuck in our dorms all day. And we were able to do it miraculously, and it was really like, it's just so nice to like be in a house rather than be confined to like a single dorm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when the pandemic first hit and everyone started moving out, the people who stayed on campus for the rest of the semester, they were moved to certain parts. They were moved to certain dorms. Me and some of my friends, we were moved to Nassau, Suffolk. I stayed there until the end of the semester, until halfway through summer. That's when I moved out. And it really gets really lonely, especially when everyone moves out. It's just kind of creepy, just like being all alone in a dorm, and there's no one there except you, the RA, and possibly like 2 or 3 other people in the building. So it really did get to me. So when my friend offered me like, hey, I got put up in this apartment and it's just me all alone, do you want to move in? I was like, yes. And here I am now. Yeah, a lot of personal things have changed for me. Also, I grew out a beard for No Shave November and I kept it.
It looks good.
Thank you. Everyone has said that, like, I was really like nervous about growing out a beard because I never thought I looked good in it. But then when I actually did, so many compliments, so many people like started gassing me up because of it. I'm just like, wow, maybe I should have done this a long time ago, because it's also really boosted my self-esteem, and I really needed that boost of self-esteem because just like being, like just basically being anxious all pandemic, and just my mental health wasn't really doing that well. But then just the small things that you do for yourself, like updating your wardrobe for winter, or getting some new furniture, or even just like changing up a haircut or growing a beard, like just small things you do for yourself could really like lift up your self-esteem. That was really, it was a kind of an experience, honestly, a little bit of an experience, a little bit of a change. Speaking of changes, the Great Conjunction also just happened. I don't know if you know about that.
I like kind of know about it, but also I'm not. That's like how the 2 planets like aligned or whatever.
When Saturn and Jupiter kind of like met each other in the night sky.
Yeah. I know there's like some good energy involved there, but I don't know too much
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, like I'm not really that big into astrology, but like I'm not deep into astrology, but like some of my astrologer friends have explained it and whatsoever. First of all, that all on its own is a very unique celestial event. You know, that doesn't really happen that much. And I didn't really actually get to see it because the skies were cloudy that night, but it was really awesome to see the photos of it. But in terms of astrology, the Great Conjunction in the Age of Aquarius is supposed to bring massive progressive change. So I don't know what that's gonna bring throughout the 2020s, but you know, massive progressive change. At least that's to my understanding. I'm nervous but ready for it, kind of. So already, like things like have changed up for me personally. I've noticed, and I don't know if you've experienced some sort of change since the conjunction happened, or
I'm trying to think, because how many days ago was it? It was like 4 or 5, right? It was very recent.
So hold on, let me look it up.
I think it was like the 21st. I don't know if I've noticed change. I haven't been doing much.
It was December 13th. It was December 13th.
Oh, it was the 13th. Oh my God, it was that long ago already?
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, like, can we talk also like later on talk about how time is basically changed?
Well, time is flying. Like literally.
No, literally.
Flying. Like, but I don't know. I guess I have like, I don't know. I just kind of felt unmotivated. Like I felt unmotivated in the beginning of December, and now I'm starting to get back into like my groove of like, oh, let me like practice this or let me do that. So I guess that has changed a little bit. But nothing huge. Yeah, nothing huge. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, like for me, it's just the changes I've noticed are just like personal things, honestly. But I feel like that's all going to be snowballing to something really big that hopefully it's going to be coming over the next year, and we'll see how that unfolds. I'll look back on this by the summer of 2021 and think, have things really changed, or was it just hyping myself up like that? But yeah, time has definitely taken quite a turn over the pandemic. Like it used to be moving so slow in the beginning of the pandemic, like holy shit. Like even I low-key still feel like it's not really quite December yet or moving in 2021, but now like time has just sped up so much. Like I find myself like waking up and wait, it was literally just the 10th the other day, and now is it the 29th? What the hell?
Yeah, like, it feels like we like Thanksgiving feels like it was 2 seconds ago, and it's already more than a month ago. Like so
and even Christmas, like it happened the 25th and it's already the 29th. It was 4 days ago, but like already like I still feel it was yesterday, you know?
Yeah, Christmas did not even feel like Christmas this year. It just felt so like, okay, here's another day of the same thing again.
Like, yeah. Okay, we had a snowstorm. My neighbors put up Christmas lights, so this is the best you could get, basically. Like like personally, I'm not much of a Christmas kind of person. I never really quite celebrated it, but like I will go to like certain events, whatever. Like last year we did Secret Santa, and we also went to see the lights at Jones Beach. That was really awesome. So sad we didn't get to do that this year, but I did try to make the most of it to at least, you know, cheer myself up. Like I didn't have a Christmas, I don't have a Christmas sweater, but I did have a red Champion sweatshirt I put on, and I had some cookies with the frothy iced vanilla latte instead of milk. But you know, and I watched Home Alone. I tried to get into I tried to get into the spirit of things, and it didn't quite hit as it would, but you know, it's the same probably for a lot of people. But you know, I did something for Christmas, and you know.
Yeah, every little bit helps. Speaking of like Christmas movies and stuff, what have been your favorite like watches of 2020?
Favorite watches of 2020? Oh my God. I really haven't watched a lot of new things in 2020. It's just mainly been me going back and watching old stuff, basically.
Well, what are your favorite old things to go back to?
Okay, definitely I started like going through Disney Plus a lot more. Like I started rewatching That's a Raven, This is a Waverly Place, a lot of old cartoons too. I don't know what else. I don't know, just lately, also The Simpsons, I've been binge watching The Simpsons, the classic series, obviously, and I'm still yet to watch Soul. Like,
oh my God, I just watched it last night. It was very good. It was a little depressing. Not depressing, but it made me sad.
Yeah, I get the like. That's what I'm seeing from like live tweets on my timeline. Like it's it's like a typical Pixar movie where it's like really upbeat, but then it really gets you like
Yeah.
your
There's
heartstrings.
always some sort of message that they need to like drive home, and it always makes me cry.
Yeah. Also, I really got obsessed with I'm thinking of ending things. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix. It's
Oh, I haven't watched it. It's been on my list for a while, but I need to.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like a really surreal. Okay, you think it's like basically I'm gonna summarize it as this. You think it's about a girl trying to break it off with her boyfriend who took her to see his parents, but it's just so much more than that. It basically you watching it just like what the hell just happened? Am I going crazy? Is this a dream? Like it's just like you need to really focus to watch it or else you're gonna really get
Yeah.
lost
I know, like, because I think Charlie Kaufman directed it, and I've
in
seen,
it.
like,
Yeah.
some of his other stuff, and it is very weird. Like, I don't know if it's, like, really my cup of tea, but I definitely want to watch it just because I've heard so much about it.
Yeah, it is a really good movie. Like especially if you like surreal movies, like movies that feel like dreams, kind of like
Mhm.
Inception or even Being John Malkovich of his other movies. It's still a very very good movie, and it's beautifully shot. It feels like a horror movie at times, but it's not. I even thought it was a horror movie, but no, it's just like a weird psychological surrealist drama.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of dramas, I also watched this show that just came out on Netflix called Tiny Pretty Things. I don't know if you watched it.
I haven't watched it. That's a lie, I guess. I started it last night. I was like, this feels a little weird. I don't know if I love it. But did you like it?
It did keep me engaged, I'll be honest. But like the premise when I first saw the trailer, it seemed very like interesting to me. Like, wow, okay, murder mystery, ballet school,
I
this is
love
like
dance shows. Like, they're so fun. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
love
very
Dance Academy.
interesting. Like I was really interested to see like, oh, is this like a kind of like a Black Swan type of thing? Is it or is it really like a Pretty Little Liars kind of thing? Because like, okay, murder mystery, girl pushed off roof. What happened? Is it because of a show? Is it because of some deep-seated drama? Like what the hell? But when I got to the end of it, it was like, that's it.
Mm,
Like I feel like it was very it had a lot of things going on at the same time. Like I feel like it was best if it was like a lot of elements like would have worked better if they were just like separated. Like I feel like the whole relationship thing and then the whole like because I don't want to spoil it for everybody. I still think you should watch it and make your own judgments. Like it will keep you engaged and there are a lot of really good twists, but it's not really what people hype it up to be. It's very meh on the drama scale.
yeah.
Like, you know,
It like when I started it last night, it felt kind of Gossip Girly in a way, but like I have to be in the right mood for that kind of show. Like I used to love Gossip Girl, and then I went through a phase where I hated it, and then like I always flip flop back and forth. But if you want a good like high school drama type of series, watch Grand Army on Netflix. I watched that a few weeks ago. It was really good. It was like it had a good like it showcased issues really well. I feel like it was the first show I watched where I was like, wow, like that is what like this thing feels like, or like all of that stuff. So I feel like I really recommend that one. All of the actors were amazing in it. So 10 out of 10. And also I watched The Queen's Gambit this week.
I
If you
still haven't
haven't,
watched that, but it looks amazing. It
it
looks amazing.
it was so good. And I'm not like into chess at all. My sister used to be obsessed with it, but I was like, I don't know if I should watch it. Like everybody loves it, but I feel like I'm gonna think it's boring. It was not boring. It was so good. I
That's
loved
what
it
that's
so
what I
much.
get. That's the vibe I get. Like
Mhm.
it's also the same thing with The Crown. Like
Oh yeah.
I finished The Crown finally. Like it's a wild like not no it's not wild, but like it really like captivated me honestly.
Mhm.
Like I thought it was gonna be super boring because it's the queen and her marriages and like lots of talking and high British things, but like no, the drama really drags you into the story. Like even when I turned my friend onto it, like I stayed over at a friend's house for one night and we were watching The Crown. We started on the first season, and then they were like, okay, this is really good. I warned them like it's a lot of talking, but the drama is what really is the most interesting part. But they were also really captivated. And then when they went back home to their parents to see for Christmas, they managed to finish the entire show, and they were like, I hate you for making me watch this show.
No,
Like it was really that good.
I've had it on my list for so long because I think like British royalty is so fascinating, and like I want to like learn more about it, and like watching The Crown would be a fun way to do that. But I just like I know I need to like focus if I watch it. Like it's one of those shows where like I really need to be like zoned in order to like understand what's happening. So I just need to like find the right time to watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's the cast also changes every 2 seasons. Like the first 2 seasons, it's I forget who it is, but it's obviously it's the much younger Queen and Prince Philip. And then season 2, in season 3 and 4, it's Olivia Colman. She's the Queen, and she's obviously a lot older, a lot more mature. And also the way that they kind of started off the first episode of season 3. That's Olivia Colman's first season. Like you have the portrait of the old actress who plays the Queen, and then you have Olivia Colman right there, and they're discussing on updating the British pound sterling, and she's like, I prefer the older one, and it's like you could see like the change that they really welcomed the new era, in a really beautiful way. And now because season 4 was Olivia Colman's last season, we're bringing in Imelda Staunton for seasons 5 and 6, the last 2. She's the woman who plays Umbridge in Harry Potter. She's gonna be playing the Queen into the 90s, into the 21st century. So I'm excited about that.
I feel like that's such good casting.
It is.
She's so scary.
I'm really excited to see how they play off Diana's death, because she's a big source of drama for a lot of the 4th season, and I want to see how it plays out for the 5th season too.
Yeah. So did she? I don't know if this is spoilers. Did she die already, like in the last season, or is she supposed to die like in the?
She's supposed to die. She's supposed to die soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this was just basically covering ground for the beginnings of like the marriage and the affair, and then leading up to the dress, the revenge dress, which was is honestly just like even watching by the way, I really suggest you watch Diana in Her Own Words, also on Netflix. It's a really interesting documentary on Princess Diana. It's really amazing. Also, really quick, Lovecraft Country. That's also another show I've been.
I haven't heard of that. What's that about?
It's on HBO Max. It's basically it's based on a novel that came out in 2016. It's basically about it's about
H.P. Lovecraft.
It's inspired by his works. It's about this Black Vietnam vet who returns to the South after war, and I think he finds that his dad has gone missing, and he goes out to find him and his cousin, and it's them battling, racism, but also existential Lovecraft aliens. It's super gory and weird and crazy, but it's just a wild ride to watch.
It sounds interesting.
It is very interesting. Like it just ended the first season. I really it's all on HBO Max. It wasn't like in one go. It wasn't released in one go like Netflix. It was like
weeks.
Week.
Yeah. I know
like
a lot of
the day after premieres, they put it on HBO Max.
Yeah, a lot of the HBO Max shows are like that. I know my sister was watching like His Dark Materials or whatever, which is like based on the Golden Compass. And they were doing like the 1 week thing, but I still need to watch that. I have a lot of shows to catch up on.
Yeah.
I've that 1,000,000 times to watch The Mandalorian because I love Star Wars. I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. But I'm going to get around to that this week probably.
Yeah, I was honestly, speaking of Star Wars, I was really hoping that me and like my parents and I, my family, we were planning on going to the new Star Wars line in Walt Disney World. We've been to the one in Disneyland, and that was really amazing, honestly. We wanted to go to the one in Disney World. We were even planning on staying in the hotel. That's like the immersive experience. But, we'll see, maybe next summer. But
yeah, I know.
That was honestly crazy.
That hotel is like my dream vacation. Like, I know it's still not open yet, but I've heard like rumors about prices, and I'm like, I can't afford that, but we'll save up. But yeah, like
Yeah.
the area they have in Disney World is amazing. Like,
Yeah, I
really
think it's
gets
supposed to
you
be
in.
bigger than the one in Disneyland.
Yeah, I think it is because I think they have more land there.
Mm.
I mean, do they have one ride? There's two rides because they don't have Rise of the Resistance, I don't think. Oh, they do. That was a lie. I think they do have it in both places, but
Yeah,
go on it. Very cool.
the Millennium Falcon ride. The Millennium Falcon ride is also really, really good.
Yes,
Like,
so cool.
have you been on it like over the
Hmm.
past?
Yeah. Well, I did the Disney College program, so I was there when they
Oh, right.
opened. Yeah, I was there like the few months where everything was like happening.
Shockingly, when I went, the line wasn't that long when I went. Like it was pretty short. I was like, wow, is it because it's not that popular, or is it because they were operating it at maximum efficiency, just like getting everyone in and out? But
Yeah.
it wasn't that long of a wait, shockingly.
They
But
have like a
overall,
billion like pods, I think, for like the Millennium Falcon ride. There's like so many different places they can like put guests, so I think that's why it just goes really quick.
yeah, and like I really love how they really accurately like replicated the Millennium Falcon on the inside. The waiting room where we're just like sitting in like the little
So
area,
cool.
that was awesome. That was really nice to see like come to life. Especially my dad, he's a big Star Wars fan, so
Mhm.
he was really, really, really happy when we first walked in, and it was just like, wow, you know.
It's definitely like a magical feeling. Like you're like, wow, I'm in the movie. Like,
I love that about Disney parks. I really do miss that. Like I'm literally planning on buying either a reed diffuser or a candle that like kind of has the smell of like certain Disney areas,
mhm.
and just like using them just to bring in the nostalgia a little bit, because I'm about to run out of some of my wax cubes, and I was like, let me change it up for a little bit. Let me try to get something different.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
know
probably
like
want to get the Haunted Mansion because I like that old house
oh
smell it
my
has.
god, I love that smell. I know like I think it's Magic Candle Company has like all of the Disney smells. If you're like looking for a company that's good, my friend always gets their candles, and she has like the Flight of Passage one. I don't remember what it's actually called, like what the specific candle is called. I think it's like Banshee Flight or something, and it
Mm.
smells exactly like the smell they pump into the air when you're on the Avatar ride. It's crazy.
That was honestly really amazing. Like I love the feeling when you're on like the banshee and it's like kind of feels like it's breathing against your
Mhm.
thighs. I was like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. That
It's
was a really
literally
nice touch. I
so
really loved it.
cool. It's so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, I miss Disney. It's okay.
Come on. I feel so nostalgic sometimes, but
Mhm.
it's okay. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're fine. Sometimes people say they're financially struggling, but Disney has like a bajillion dollars. Like they're
And
gonna
they're
be
buying
fine no
up
matter what.
everything, which is scary. It's like, ooh, monopoly.
Yeah, have you
But
seen that chart of like everything they own?
yes, for media literacy. That's one of the things like I study for media literacy. Like six massive companies that literally own everything that we use. It's like, holy, like wow, like that's kind of scary when you really think about it. Like that's
Yeah.
really, really scary.
It's just it's the amount of like money they have and like control over media. Like they even own like Hulu. Like why? Why do they own Hulu?
Yeah, and like also there's even talks of them buying up theaters too, and it's like okay, I'm pretty sure that there's like a law in Hollywood against that because I remember reading something that like companies should like they can't buy theaters or something like that. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but I have to research that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it really brings up the really interesting topic of media consolidation and all the effects it could have on our media consumption. It's like wow.
Yeah.
Like just here's me going back on my media literacy class that I paid zero attention in, but like that was one of the few things that really stuck with me. But yeah, also watching The Social Dilemma also has really kind of
Oh,
shook me a little bit to the
I
core.
haven't watched it yet. I planned on watching it, but everybody said it freaked them out a lot about like I mean, obviously we all know like we're being watched on our phones all the time because like
But like this
when you
really,
say something and then there's an ad that pops up for it. Like, but I heard it really freaked people out.
it did. Like I had to watch it for class, and it really unsettled me. But like we can't really get rid of these because really they've really become part of our daily life, and it would be like you can't function in life without these anymore. So it's like the only thing you could do about it is just like either hope that some laws get passed or just you end up becoming a cog in the system. And that's something for you to think about.
That's so depressing.
Depressing. It's very dystopian.
It's so true though.
It is. It's very The Matrix. It's very Hunger Games, but you know, it's okay. Well, we've come to the end of our hour. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the second episode of the HerCampus Roundtable with me, Tariq, and Victoria. And we thank you all so much for supporting the HerCampus YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening in. I know the last episode, it was our first episode, so we were all really nervous, but now, even though it's just me and Victoria, we're a lot more comfortable. And hopefully, as 2021 rolls by, we'll have a lot more exciting things for the HerCampus YouTube channel and more episodes of the podcast too. So thank you guys so much for the support. And please have a wonderful rest of your year. Have a happy new year and have a wonderful 2021. My name is Tariq.
I'm Tori. Bye, guys.
Bye.